And from here, we'll go straight to what the dailies are saying as far as what the big stories are in that sense. So being joined in the program by the chief correspondent of the Africa Report, Eniola Akinkuotu. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Mr. Eniola, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
All right, fantastic.
Thank you for having me.
Let's see where we will start from on this one. I think let's get started with, okay, I'm spoiled for choice. So maybe New Telegraph. New Telegraph is where we'll get started from. The big one, the political conversation. New Telegraph is leading with defections. PDP walks tight rope ahead of 2027. The writer has it that all eyes on Saraki's committee to stem the tide as defection further deplete party. All eyes on Saraki's committee to stem the tide as defection further deplete party. What do you make of this avalanche of defections, if you will?
Well, I really don't understand, what this key committee seeks to achieve, from this assignment, because the committee was inaugurated a few months ago. Within that period, 2 governors have defected. Sheriff Oborewori of Delta State defected, and just 3 days ago, you had Governor Umo of Akwa Ibom State also defected. And of course, you have so many others who are just waiting. Some already have one leg in, one leg out. The PDP has, the number of governors has depleted to about 10. And so far, I mean, as things stand now, at least about 3 might be on their way out as well. So I think what the Saraki committee set out to achieve, I think it's futile already. I don't see it achieving anything. And I don't think that party is ready for any election come 2027.
Interesting perspective. And I'm just curious to ask you, just to follow up on that question. What do you think is making them defect? There are so many allusions and conjecture. Some are saying admiration for the president. Some are saying, like the governor of Akwa Ibom says, he admires the president. Some are saying it's the rift in the People's Democratic Party that is causing this. Some are saying they are being coerced, or their predecessors are being coerced. Some are saying they are being blackmailed. What do you make of the reason, if you will, if you have anyone?
I think it's a miscellany of issues. It's not just one issue. So if you look back at the video, that viral video where the governor of Akwa Ibom was, addressing members of his cabinet some 2 weeks ago, which channels aired, where he was talking about the division in the party and all that, he said something quite salient, which is that he didn't want a situation whereby he would win an election and then his victory will be upturned because maybe it's the wrong faction of the party that signed off on his nomination forms. Technicalities like this actually, lead to election victories being upturned. So that was one of the reasons that he gave. But of course, there are other issues too. As it's always said, politics is local. There are issues in certain states too, which make it quite difficult, for a governor to remain in the party. You look at Osun State, for instance. Now we're hearing that the governor might be on his way out, and that is one. And the APC are not happy about it, and that was why the former speaker, Mr. Uweye, came out to say that Adeleke is not welcome in our party. So there are different dynamics. It depends on the state that you're looking at. The PDP generally is, it's had this conflict, this division since the 2023 election, which has not changed. The party has not been able to even do any hold its next meeting, and it's supposed to have its congresses by the end of this year. If it cannot do that successfully, most likely you're going to see that a lot of the governors, if not all, will just leave because nobody wants to lose their seat.
And there are projections in that space that, those defecting are not getting automatic tickets, specifically members of the National Assembly now. So one wonders what the 2027 general elections would look like. But let's move to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And we see some interesting stories atop the nameplate. Tinubu to Sanwo-Olu, your sins are forgiven as GAC visits president in Lagos. Of course, we saw that happen over the weekend and, sooner than expected, if you ask me. But what are your thoughts on this and, what it means for the stability of the governorship seat and the state assembly seat in the 2027 elections?
I think that's even far off. We have to look at the immediate local government election, which is coming up in just about a month from now. Recall that there are so many people who are not happy about it. You've been seeing protests in different parts of Lagos State. So I think that's one they're trying to address immediately. And then, of course, if you look at the issue between Sanwo-Olu and Tinubu, recall that at the commissioning of the, what event was it? I think when the president, I think it was the commissioning of the 30 kilometers of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, where Sanwo-Olu stretched out his hand to shake the president, and he was snubbed. And we saw that it's sort of confirmed speculations that all was not well between the two. So this meeting is just some sort of reconciliation meeting. It's not odd in Lagos politics. You recall that Fashola also had some tension with Tinubu during the build-up to the 2011 election, which was sorted out. Ambode tried his best, but he was kicked out. So it's not new in Lagos politics. There is only one master, there is only one boss. That is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And now that he's president, he has consolidated his hold over that party. He's the alpha and omega. And if you read this day yesterday, this day painted a very dramatic picture of what happened behind the scenes, how the governor, prostrated before the president and apologized and all that. It was said that it was because of the conflict was due to the issue with Obasa, the removal of the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, that the governor was the invisible hand behind it, and the president was cross with him. But, all well and good now. They've reconciled, and they're good to go, at least for the local government election.
Eniola, thank you so much. I like the way you put it bluntly. I don't want to repeat your words. But it is what they say in Nigeria, it is what it is. Until the status quo changes. Eniola Akinkuotu is a journalist writing for the African Report. We'll always have you on this conversation. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, there has been some conversation that border on the obedience movement. The obedience movement, they made quite an impression in 2023. Shocking numbers, 6.1 million votes. A part of the obedient movement and every other person who voted for Mr. Peter Obi. But the question now is, are they holding up strong enough? Would they be able to pull that weight in 2027? What is happening to the obedient camp in general, as a matter of fact? So we're going to have two gentlemen who will talk about this on the program just after this break. Join us again.